Hey everybody, welcome back. In this Power FX series video, we're going to pack in the first function, the FirstN function, index, LastN, LastN functions. And so to begin, I just want to show you that data-wise, we're using and focusing on the context table. Because I added a table control to the form here, or to the screen, it is seeing the relationship between contacts and accounts. I didn't add accounts. Power Platform or the Canvas app, Power App Studio, it added it for me. So, but just to give context, we're only dealing with the context table for this example. Okay, so I'm going to roll up this data table here. I've got a bunch of labels that we're going to do this on, and so let's start off with the first function. So the first the first function is simply going to need a contacts table. This is the data source. That's all you need. And so the idea behind the first function is it's going to bring back the first record in the table. And so as soon as I do that, it should normally work, but you have to understand that the control that I'm typing this Power FX command is a label, and it doesn't like the fact that what I've got here is a record. This is an entire row, the first row from that context table, and I can't do anything with it. So in order to make this work to be visible inside of this field, I need to use the dot. Now I can get to a field or a column inside of this row, and I'm just going to use the last name. And so now life is good and everything's happy. The reason I put the table over here is because I want to just have you see what's in the table, and you can see that the first record in the table is in fact Soden. Okay, that's my last name, and so that's what's in here. Now the next function, it got a little sticky, and let me kind of break this down for you. So the FirstN function, what this does is it says, get me the first number of records. So what I'm saying is, just like the first function gives only the first row, the FirstN, the N is how many rows do you want to bring back from the table? And I'm saying I want to bring back the first 3 rows. Now you can make this number arbitrarily, whatever you want to make it, and that's how many records you're going to get back. So in this example, I only did 3. Now again, because I'm trying to display this in a label, I had to get a little bit funky with it. And so I'm bringing back the first 3 rows, as you can see here, right? So that's what this first and 3 contacts. So that's really all that the focus of this video is. Now, in order to get jiggy with it, I kind of had to do this concat. And so what concat does is it takes a table and it allows me, or it takes information from the rows of the table. And I'm saying, as I want you to concatenate just the last name column, and then I want you to make a string out of it, because that's what concat does. It takes a bunch of, it takes a table of data and turns it into a string. And so in this case, I'm saying take this 3 row table, just worry about the last name column. And then what I want you to do is I want you to provide a separator with a space, a pipe, and a space. And so you can see Soden, Stuckley, and Nurden. And if we look at the last name, Soden, Stuckley, and Nurden, that is the first 3 records on there. So this is the power of FX, the power of chaining Power FX commands or functions together. And so you can see this here. Now we're going to move on to index. Index is very similar to, well, if you take, for example, what I have here, I have the number 1. This is the exact same as using the first function. However, what if I want to do, let's see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's Mafi. And so if I do index 5 instead of 1, I should get Terry Mafi. So I'm bringing back the full name. So it's pulling it from the second column. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. The index is the number. Now, if for those of you with any programming experience, you simply or typically would expect, or you've always been taught in other languages, that arrays are 0-based indexed, meaning that the very first row in an index or in an array is 0, and everything's at this weird offset by 1. That's not the case here. So if you come from a programming background, be careful you don't burn yourself, because the first row is in fact 1 and not 0. It's not like a normal array. Okay, so hopefully that's clear and you can avoid that problem. The next one is the last name, and I'm going to hold the Alt key down. I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and we can see that Flynn Gradwell, because if you look, I'm bringing back the full name, which is the second column. And so the last function brings the last record, the last row in the table. And so I'm simply doing that same trick because I'm in a label, and I just want to bring back one value from that row. Okay, now the last n, we've seen this before with FirstN, but it's in reverse. It's saying give me the last 3 records and just bring back the first name, and again, space, pipe, space. I'm delimiting this out here. So we've got starting with, let's see here, am I at the end? Let's see what we got here. We've got Bancroft, which is over here, right? You can see it right there. Then we got Karna, and then we've got Flynn. So it's bringing back the full name. Actually, it's bringing back the first name. I probably should have changed that to, instead of first name. Whoop. I don't know. I just did my misalignment here. Rather than first name, let's just bring back last name. And we'll make that way. It's a little bit easier. Okay, so we got Huck, Beeden, and then Gradwell. So hopefully that is clear and a little bit more visible to you now. And so that will conclude this video, because we've covered all of the functions, talked about a little nuances, and hopefully you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down in the comment section, like, subscribe, obviously, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all before from YouTube videos. In any event, that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.